Hello, could everyone just tell me if you can hear the audio? Because I've not done something like this before, so. So, what does everyone think? If there's anyone here? So, what were people's thoughts? Let me know in the chat. That was definitely interesting, especially that bit at the end of the credits. I'm really confused, but yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. Yeah, I'm just setting everything up so it's a bit more of ease for everyone. So yeah, what is it? What is people's thoughts? I'm just that was very interesting. I quite liked that episode. It's a bit slow with its pacing, but that seems to be the case quite a lot of the time. But I enjoyed it. Overall, I'm really confused at that end credit bit. Like, what was that about? It was really out the blue as well. I think the overall story was quite good. So yeah, what did you guys think? But yeah, that was not what I was expecting at all with it. I mean, I think the whole revolution wasn't really a revolution. It was just a fight between two races of Dalek. But, you know, it's the Chibnall era. They like to do titles that don't really have much relevance to the episode. It's a bit like Army of Ghosts Doomsday when you have the whole Dalek versus the Cybermen thing, which lasts for like a couple of minutes. And that's like the most interesting part of the episode. I think Ryan was probably his like the most interesting of the companions in this episode, and it was his last episode, which was a bit frustrating, I would say, because you know I didn't really like him, to be honest. I've never really sort of liked his character. I've always thought he was just a bit of a character, didn't really have much development. Then fighting this episode, you know, we have some good characters, some good stuff going on, and nothing comes of it. Well, it does, he leaves, which is just a bit disappointing. They sort of set up some spin-off maybe, but then everyone thought that with Praxia, so who knows. But if anyone is here, just let me know what you thought of the episode, because I'm certainly intrigued at where it's going to go from there. Who's your favourite character? What did you enjoy the most? What did you not like? Yeah. I'm just really shocked at that end bit. Like, what? It's completely bizarre. I'm just setting up a Twitter post. Yeah, hello everyone. Let me know what your thoughts are on the episode, if you enjoyed it or not. Did you expect that ending? What was that all about? Yeah, that was certainly an unexpected outcome to that episode. Well, the episode itself sort of gave me a bit of a mixture of resolution and timeless children vibes I got from that episode. But I overall thought it was quite a solid episode, to be fair. Yeah, let me know, the two people who are here, what you thought. Yeah. You can ask me any questions on my thoughts, opinions. I mean, I'm new to live streaming, so just let me know what you're thinking. But yeah, I reckon, in my opinion, that episode was like a 7, 8 out of 10. I mean, I'm going to rewatch it, of course, but like, it wasn't anything spectacular. I was a bit slightly underwhelmed by it. And the whole revolution, as I said earlier, wasn't really a revolution. It kind of was, but they just sort of shot each other for a bit, and that was it. We had callbacks to Gwen, which was sure callbacks to Rose. I would have been nice if you actually saw Jack die instead of him just being like, "Hey, I'm immortal and I die and then come back to life. Ha ha ha." It would have been nice if we actually saw that. It's a classic of not showing and just telling, which I've always had a bit of an issue with Shibnu. Don't get me wrong, I do quite like the episodes, but we got a comment here. Jack was epic, but I didn't think it was that good. Yeah, it wasn't as good as I'd hoped. I'm not saying it was bad. I need to watch it again to sort of gauge an opinion, but my first opinion is it was a bit naff. It gave me Spyfall resolution vibes from it, which is quite cool, but Jack Robinson, was he really necessary? I mean, the threat of the Daleks was good, but they sort of just shot at each other, and then the Doctor put them in a TARDIS and folded it in and then got sent off to the void. There was all these callbacks, which from going from series 11, which there was no references to literally anything, to now where we get references to Gwen and Rose, which, don't get me wrong, is good and it's nice, but it just seems a bit pointless and such a contrast from what the original or the sort of start of the Jodie era was like. So I'm a bit conflicted at whether I really liked it, but what do you guys think? Who else is here? But yeah, seeing Jack back was definitely a good thing. I don't see why he was in Fugitive. He could have just popped up in this one. I think it would have been so much better. Obviously, he wouldn't have known Graham that, and they would have had to do a minute scene explaining that. But I think it would have been much, much better if he just appeared in here instead of Fugitive, because I think that just sort of was a bit all over the place. He said something like 11 months isn't that much compared to 14 years. That is true. But it all depends, because you had with that similar thing happened to Rose in series 1 with World War III Aliens of London, when she comes back and it's been a year, and obviously Jackie's upset and everything. I quite like the little arc Ryan goes on this episode about wanting to leave and having a life on Earth. But then I don't get how he wants to have a life on Earth, but then he wants to go solving alien crimes and stuff, because you're not going to be seeing your mates if you're going all across the globe. It's not much different from traveling on the TARDIS. So I didn't quite get that ending, but I mean, they can set up Yaz and the Doctor and not upset anyone by killing off Graham and Ryan, which I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping for. I got a bit bored of them, and it'd be nice to have a bit more of a dramatic exit than them on a bike and then some apparition of Grace, which was terribly green screened. But there we are. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, that was a bit. Gave me Clara from Twice Upon a Time vibes, that scene. So yeah, not great. But I think the episode overall was solid, but I think it could have been much better. It had much more potential to be better. I think the whole prison setup thing, it was nice. Obviously the Doctor being away, you have all the conflicts that come with that. But there wasn't really any point for the Doctor to be in prison. Like, it didn't really feel necessary, apart from just being a plot device for Jack to come along and all that jazz. That's the only reason. And also, I'm pretty sure Jack says jazz instead of Yaz in one of the scenes, but that could just be me. I do not know. But yeah. Also, spoiler alert here. That end credit bit with John Bishop. What? And yeah, they left the prison arc too quick. Like, that was just a bit. It was setting up something and then just like straight away taking it back. Like, they could have developed it much more. They could have made it a Doctor Light episode. Setting up the fact that Ryan and Gray want to. Ryan wants to sort of be on Earth and do him stuff for himself. I think that could have worked much better and set that whole thing up with Ryan much better. I know obviously they want to get rid of Ryan and Graham so we can have Yaz and the Doctor as the new TARDIS team, which I don't know how I feel about that, because part of me just wants fresh new companions, you know. Like, I'm glad to see Ryan and Graham going because they have got a bit boring, and honestly so has Yaz. So I was hoping that there would be like a whole new TARDIS team or new companion, but we've still got Yaz. We might get a new companion. Maybe that's what the whole John Bishop thing is. He didn't say introducing John Bishop as the Doctor. He just said introducing John Bishop. So I think it's making it much more of a bigger thing than it is. I think it might be one of those things to try and trick you. Or maybe they don't want to, they're too afraid to say John Bishop is the Doctor. But I think that was really badly placed at the end of the episode. Like, I didn't even know it was part of the episode. I was really confused. They could do like Midnight and 10 with one episode with just a Doctor. Yeah, they could have split it up into a two-part, done it like on Christmas Day, New Year's, like they did with End of Time. That would have worked quite well. But I think the pacing was already quite poor with this episode, so I think maybe if you stretched it out to a two-parter, it may have been a bit too long. So there were moments where it just stops it, and I think that's what I've had issue with like Spyfall Part 1 and a couple of other episodes where they've just felt really, really rushed to me. So yeah. But overall, it wasn't a bad episode. I enjoyed it. I was engaged to it. I didn't feel bored or anything like that. So we'll just have to wait and see what comes of it. I mean, I think the next series is going to be in autumn, so we'll have to wait and see for that. But yeah, is there anyone else in the comments who've got any thoughts on the episode? But yeah, I think that episode had potential to be much better than it was. Like, the episode and the story was good. So it's Doctor probably leave Yaz behind in series 13. Yeah, I don't see with this era. I couldn't see a companion dying. Yeah, I could see we have something similar to like Clara in Time of the Doctor or Rose in The Passing of the Age. We could have something like that to get rid of Yaz, but I couldn't see that. I've heard somewhere. I'm just looking on Twitter and Facebook messages and everything, and apparently John Bishop is actually a companion and not the Doctor, because as I said, it wasn't announced like this is the Doctor. So let me just have a look into that for you all. Man called Morgan Jeffrey, I think. Let's have a look. He's at the Radio Times. And he put, I know many fans were looking forward to a Dr. Yaz pairing, but I think John Bishop's a canny bit of casting as new companion Dan. So that's intriguing. So maybe Series 13 isn't going to just be Yaz. It's going to be Yaz and this other companion. John Bishop as Dan. Intriguing. What do you guys think of that? Do you think we should have a series of just Jazz? Maybe John Bishop's character can feel a sort of Graham role, that sort of vibe I'm getting from that. Maybe do something like that. I really don't know. I think it was a bit random at the end of the episode, to be fair. But yeah, what do you think about that whole end sequence? I was thinking it was going to be like setting up a spin-off with Graham and Vine on their adventure, even though it'd be a bit naff, to be fair. That would be quite naff. I was thinking it was going to be that companion bloke from Fugitive in the opening the van, but it wasn't. Yeah, it does give us a bit more who vibes when a random companion shows up. Well, I know what you mean. Like, I think we might see Graham and Ryan again, either randomly through Series 13, but I don't think that would be the case. It'd probably be in special after Series 13 or final episode or the 60th anniversary, one of those. I think we will see them again, even if it's something short. A bit like they and Tim did for Barbara and Ian in Classic Who, which they didn't actually do. Something like that could go ahead. So yeah. So what do you guys think? Do you think it was a strong episode, a weak episode? Just give me your thoughts. But I quite liked it. I know I keep saying I like it. I didn't like it. It was okay. It was a strong episode. It wasn't weak. There was a few points where I thought it's a bit boring. I quite liked the Ryan and Doctor scene in the TARDIS. I thought that was quite interesting. And as I was saying earlier in the stream, like Ryan was so much more interesting in his last episode. It's a bit like with Yazin, Can You Hear Me? When we finally get some good development, it's like this is her second series. And with this news that John Bishop is the companion, might be a companion, going off some news that I've just found from Morgan Jeffrey, Radio Times. I've just found it. I can't show you on the screen, unfortunately. But yeah, apparently John Bishop is going to be the companion. It's a good episode. John Barrowman carries it because of nostalgia. Yeah, I see what you mean. They need to kind of make it Doctor as opposed to Teacher Who. That Chibble has made it. Yeah, I know what you mean. I see. I enjoyed it, but I think like, are you talking about sort of showing, telling, not showing? Because they like to do that a lot. Like with Jack dying, they could have made it much more interesting than just having a throwaway line about dying. That would, Also, the whole thing about Gwen with killing a Dalek with a motorbike or something. I can't remember what that line was. Sure, why not? But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily John Barrowman carried the episode. But I think he made it a bit more interesting, intriguing with that character. Definitely, I'll agree with that. But if anyone else, or if you want to have any more thoughts, let me know, or just type in the chat. But yeah, I think it was a strong episode, but I think Series 13 needs to step up its game a bit. But John Bishop as a companion, not sure how I feel about that, to be honest. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But what do you guys think? I'll probably close this stream off in a minute, by the way. But Yeah, I know what you mean about Ryan. Yeah, it's sad how the only character development Ryan had was riding the bike and still not succeeding. Yeah, like you had the basketball scene in Time as Children, and what I didn't get right is because Ryan called him Graham Granddad in like series 12, and that arc was ended. And then in this episode, Ryan goes into a shop, doesn't give Graham a fist bump or call him Granddad, and at the end he's like, "Hey, Granddad," or whatever. And it's like, are you just bringing up an old plot thread just to like make it rewarding again and bring it back to the front, like when you've already like finished that plot? It's just a bit, I didn't quite get that. But yeah. I feel as if some things are forgotten so quickly, like Yaz being mad at the Doctor is like only one episode then done. Yeah. I sort of get like, I mean, at least there was a bit of development with that. It didn't quite like finish too early, like just end too abruptly. I don't think that was the case. But yeah, I think the reactions were a bit, I mean, Yaz's reaction, yeah, Gray and Orion, like, what were they doing in those 10 months? Like, Yaz was apparently living in the TARDIS, doesn't know what the time was. Like, is there food in the TARDIS? How does she live in there? And, like, that was a bit confusing. The fact she didn't know when New Year's was, maybe that was just a joke. I don't know. And what were Ryan and Graham doing? Because, and also Yaz, she's a police officer. She's gone away for 10 months. What's happening with that and her family? There's just lots of like just plot threads that are just sort of forgotten, or things that tiny details that just missed out. And I just, yeah, it was a bit underwhelming, and I think there was a few bits that they sort of missed out on. Like, Ryan, did he get a job where they were? What did Graham do? Did he enjoy his retirement? Did he become a bus driver again? Because they were living somewhere else. I can't remember what place it was called. Or maybe they weren't living there. Maybe Jazz was staying there, and they went back all the way to Sheffield and then came and visited her. It's not explained. Yet we have scenes where the people are sitting and talking for like 5 minutes, and nothing's coming of it. So you see, I'm sort of like torn two ways about this episode. But yeah, I'm gonna probably close the stream off in a minute. So if you guys have any thoughts before I close this off, because I'm getting a sore throat. So yeah, if you guys have anything else before I finish this up, I'll probably post a proper review on my channel. So subscribe if you're new here, and I'll probably do a proper concise review with less of the ums and the ahs. So yeah, thank you for the 3 to 10 people that we had throughout the stream who came. Thank you, Mohammed, for all your questions and thoughts. That's great. Otherwise I would have been a bit insane just sitting here. So thank you very much, everyone. I'll probably close the stream, and I hope you enjoyed. And subscribe if you're new.